I, Dr. Niradhar, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video lesson. So, friends, today we are going to discuss a very pertinent topic on your online course, that is assessment for learning, and we are presently in the third module. And in this module, this is one of the video lesson. The title is Approaches to Evaluation, and we will be discussing four major concepts or four types of evaluation as per the functions of evaluation, that is placement evaluation, formative evaluation, diagnostic evaluation and summative evaluation. So, we will try to understand that what is the concept of these four types of evaluation, and further we will also differentiate two major evaluation types, that is formative evaluation and summative evaluation. So, friends, now let us go forward to know the week and modules that this video lesson it caters. First of all, at present we are in the third week of your online course assessment for learning, and now we are dealing module 3, okay, and the title of this module is Approaches to Evaluation. What are the different approaches to evaluation that we will be discussing in this module? So, friends, in this module, keeping in consideration the nature of the content, two video lessons are included. One is Approaches to Evaluation, that is placement, formative, diagnostic and summative, and the second video lesson, that is norm referenced and criterion referenced evaluation. So, two video lessons are there in this module, and today we are going to discuss the first video lesson, that is Approaches to Evaluation, that is placement, formative, diagnostic and summative. Let us go forward to know about the learning outcomes first before discussing the approaches of evaluation, placement, formative, diagnostic and summative. So, here after going through these video lessons and content of this module, I am sure that you will be able to explain the concept of placement, formative, diagnostic and summative evaluation. Further, you will be able to differentiate between formative and summative evaluation, and you will also able to explain the uses of placement, formative, diagnostic and summative evaluation in teaching learning process. You all are teachers, and I am sure that with your teaching learning task, with your teaching learning assignment, you are also equally involved in different assessment. You might be preparing test, you might be evaluating the achievement of your learners. It may be from the scholastic areas or it may be from the post-scholastic areas. Okay. So, here I am sure that this video lesson will further help you to make you able to use placement, formative, diagnostic and summative evaluation in your teaching learning behavior. Let us go forward. So, first of all, so far as approaches to evaluation is concerned, on the basis of its types and functions, you will find that approaches of evaluation may be different keeping in consideration of its nature, but here so far as its type and functions are concerned, evaluation is of four types, that is placement evaluation, formative evaluation, diagnostic evaluation and summative evaluation. Okay. So, placement evaluation, you see the very word that we have used here is placement. That means by conducting placement evaluation, the learners will get a placement, the learners will get a type of entry for pursuing a course. Okay. So, before pursuing a course, the assessment that we conduct, that's come under the placement evaluation, and further when the learners entered in the system, that means when the teaching learning process starts, that means from the beginning of the first of the instructional process, when teaching learning process starts, when the teacher teaches the learners, at the same time they also do as per the constructivist approach, as per the assessment for learning concept, that every lesson should be aligned with certain you can say assessment practices. So, that is why here Formative evaluation is the second stage of assessment that conduct continuously throughout the term, throughout the semester and throughout the year. And further, diagnostic evaluation, it also goes simultaneously with formative evaluation. We will discuss detail about the very concept of diagnostic, very concept of formative and very concept of placement, and how you can use these concepts in your teaching, learning and assessment you can say practices. And further, summative evaluation is a product oriented evaluation. It is an end term evaluation or term end evaluation, that means after completion of the semester, after completion of you can say year, the evaluation that we do, that is the summative evaluation. So, now let us go forward to know detail about these 4 types of evaluation. First of all, you see now this chart is visible on your screen, you might be watching it. So far as the functions of evaluation is concerned, here you see the areas of functions. There are 3 areas of functions so far as evaluation is concerned. One is, that means functions before instructional process, before the beginning of the teaching learning process or before the beginning of the instruction, and further during instructional process, that means when the instructional process, when the teaching learning process is going on, and the third, that is after instructional process, that means after completion of the entire teaching learning process, after completion of the semester, after completion of a year, the assessment that we do, evaluation that we do, that we can say that after instructional process. And now we will try to understand that what types of evaluation that we conduct, that we follow, that we use in these 3 areas of functions, that is before instructional, during instructional and after instructional process. First, in before instructional process, we conduct placement evaluation. Okay, placement evaluation means here you have to means the learners will get a placement, the learners will get a type of entry to a course. It may be for school education, it may be for higher education, or it may be in any vocational and professional education. So many a time we do, or you will find that the universities and the colleges, they conduct certain entrance examination. Okay, so why do they conduct the entrance examination? They conduct entrance examination to know the entry behavior of the learners, to know the previous knowledge of the learners, whether the requisite knowledge which is required for acquiring new knowledge in the course that you are going to pursue, whether earlier you have achieved the previous knowledge or not, and that previous knowledge will further help you for acquiring new knowledge, whether you have the entry behavior or not. And being a teacher, every day you are doing, when you are teaching a class, teaching a subject, what you are doing, you are just engaging learners to know the earlier taught knowledge, skills and competencies, whether they have achieved or not, because the earlier knowledge learning experiences will help the learner for achieving, for getting new knowledge. So that is why before placement evaluation is a before instructional process. So that we do before the teaching learning process, before the real teaching learning process, before the starting of any course, any academic session. And further, under during instructional process, you will find that 2 types of evaluation that we conduct. One is the formative evaluation and other is the diagnostic evaluation. Okay, formative evaluation, you will find that detail we will discuss further, which is continuous in nature, which is aligned with the teaching learning process. And formative evaluation uses you can say varieties of tools and techniques and strategies. It observes whether the learners are continuously improving or not. And the key terms that we use under formative evaluation, that is mastery, whether the learners are achieving mastery or not. And it starts from the very beginning of the instructional process and it continues till the last day, till the last lesson of the instructional process. That means throughout the year it continues, it is a continuous process. Okay? And further, diagnostic evaluation is also during instructional process, it goes hand to hand, it goes simultaneously with formative evaluation, because when we do formative evaluation, we find out the progress, we get an idea about the progress of the learners and about their mastery level. And further, by getting the feedback, many a time you can identify that few learners in your class, they are not really doing well, okay, they are lacking behind with certain skills. So what you will do, you have to find out what are the causes for this malfunctioning, what are the causes for this low performance. So that's why you have to find out the cause, you have to diagnose the cause, then accordingly you have to provide the remedial measures. So that's why diagnostic evaluation will go simultaneously with the formative evaluation, and further, and these two evaluation are come under the during instructional process. And when the instructional process is completed, entirely completed, then further you might have appeared the term and examination or the semester and examination, that is called as after assessment or the evaluation that is conducted after instructional process, and that is the summative types of evaluation. And for conducting summative types of evaluation, that is to grade the learners, that is to provide marks to the learners and to certify the learners, okay, whether they have achieved the very objective of this program or the course or not, very purpose of the program of the course or not. So this is the concept of these 4 types of assessment, and further we will discuss detail about this concept. So first of all, I have already discussed that a formative assessment is a before instructional process. We do it before starting the instruction, real instruction, and is used to know entry behavior and previous knowledge of the learners. So whether they have achieved the previous knowledge or they have the entry behavior or not, okay. For solving a mathematical problem, you can say that at least the learners, they should know to do a sum, mathematical sum, they should know about the operations of the 4 operations of mathematics: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And we can say that for solving a problem, if it is a new knowledge, then the entry behavior or the previous knowledge or the requisite skill which is required, that is operations of mathematics in 4 operations of mathematics, that is addition, whether the learner is able to do the addition work, do the subtraction work, do the multiplication and division work, and if they are able to do it, they can solve a problem. So that's why entry behavior is a key term which is used so far as placement evaluation is concerned. And further, we can say all types of entrance examination are the example of placement evaluation. Friends, you all are B.Ed learners, you are now at present in the second year of your B.Ed program, and you see, when you get an opportunity for pursuing B.Ed in IGNOU or in any other universities, you must have appeared a type of entrance examination. So that entrance examination is to provide a placement to you all, okay. On the basis of the merit of the entrance examination, you got an opportunity to take admission, okay. So that's why the B.Ed entrance examination, medical entrance examination, the entrance examination which is conducted by different professional bodies, you can say, let National Testing Agency, it conducts the NEET exam. So all such entrance examinations are come under the placement evaluation, and further we can say that placement evaluation, or we can say ideas on previous knowledge, is required to provide new knowledge to the learners, and which is possible through placement evaluation. And further we can say different tools can be used for conducting placement evaluation, many a time keeping in consideration the nature of the course, the nature of the program and the nature of the job also. Many a time in job field also you appear many exam, and many a time a written exam are conducted, and many a time you will find that with the written examination, vivacious examinations are taken, personal interview you might have appeared and are conducted by different professional bodies, by job providers. So that's why the test and tools that we use in placement evaluation, contextually it differs from the nature of the course to course, from nature of the job to job. It may be a written test, it may be a type of interview, it may be a type of other types of practical oriented and hands-on activities related testing skill also. Let us go forward to understand about the formative evaluation. So, formative evaluation that we conduct is a during instructional process. It used to know learning progress and mastery of the learners. I have already said that when the instructional process starts, then when there is teaching, we can conduct formative evaluation, and by conducting formative evaluation continuously, as a teacher you will get idea that whether the learners are achieving the mastery or not, and if they are not achieving the mastery, then further you will come to diagnostic evaluation to diagnose, to find out why they are not achieving mastery. So, what are the cause behind their achievement, and accordingly you have to provide the remedial measure. And for the formative assessment, it is continuous in nature and helps learner for you can say enhancing their learning. And for the varieties of activities, varieties of tools and techniques are used in formative evaluation. It covers evaluating both scholastic and post-scholastic abilities. It is very much important. So, here what you are doing in scholastic activities means the core subject that you are studying. It may be science, it may be mathematics, social science and different languages. So, you can apply, being a teacher, formative assessment can be used for assessing the scholastic abilities of the learners, at the same time the co-scholastic abilities of the learners. That means learners' involvement in different aspect of their personality development, of their total development. Okay. It may be games and sports, it may be literary activities, it may be speech education, it may be craft education, it may be health education, it may be yoga education, okay. It may be value based education. So, that can also be done through formative evaluation by using different tools and technique. And further, it provides descriptive feedback for the development of the learners through formative evaluation. Earlier we have discussed that descriptive feedback or the descriptive indicators, that in which aspect the learners are able to perform better, and in what are the different aspects the learners are not performing better. Okay. It also comes under that. Then further, it provides feedback to the learner to modify their teaching. Okay. It also continuously it provide feedback to the learners, because instantly when the learners will get the feedback, then they will get the space, then they will get the opportunity to modify themselves. Let us go forward to understand about the concept of diagnostic evaluation. Here you see, diagnostic evaluation is a during instructional process, just like formative evaluation. It goes simultaneously with formative evaluation. It used to know learning difficulties of the learner. So, this is the key term that are used in diagnostic, for understanding diagnostic evaluation we use. So, the main purpose is to find out and to understand, to know the learning difficulties of the learner. So, what are the learning difficulties, and that we can identify by conducting the formative evaluation. And if the learners are not progressing, not doing well, then we have to apply certain diagnostic test, that what are their problem. And many a time you will find that diagnostic evaluation or the causes may be from different areas. So, that is why it identifies personal, educational, physical and psychological difficulties of the learners and provides remedial measures. So, many a time you will find that for academic achievement, for academic attainment, many a time personal reason may be a cause, and physical condition of the child may be the cause. Then psychological condition, family background of the child, many a time peer and group to whom, or the playmate to whom the child is coming contact may be a cause also. So, that is why under the purview of diagnostic evaluation you will find that personal difficulties, the causes of personal difficulties, educational difficulties, physical difficulties and psychological emotional difficulties are also come under it. And further, it helps the teachers to achieve equity among the learners. So, here you see again I am just focusing upon equity. Equity means how to it is not enough only to talk about the equality. Yes, in an inclusive set of classroom, you will find that every student, every learner in your class are getting equal opportunity, equal facilities. At the same time, you will find that because of the diversity nature of the learners' ability, learners' home background, learners' you can say status, you will find that they are really different. They are not, though it seems that they are from a homogeneous group, but really they are a heterogeneous group. So, for that varieties of tools are required. One tool is, if it is useful for a group of learners, and that tool may not be useful for few learners of your class. So, that is why diagnostic evaluation, by conducting diagnostic evaluation, we can find out that what are the specific difficulties of the learners and what are the cause of it. Then after getting the cause, after knowing the cause, you have to provide the treatment. Okay, you have to provide the remedial measure or remedial teaching, you can say, to bring them to lead that group of learners at least a minimum level of learning stage. Okay, so that is called as the equity. And further, it also helps teachers to understand learners in a better way. So, diagnostic evaluation helps also teacher to understand the learners to whom the teacher is dealing every day, about their strengths, about their weaknesses, where they are really, and how to help the learners for achieving better and for achieving both scholastic and co-scholastic abilities, which is included in the curriculum. And summative evaluation, I have already said that is an after instructional process. When the entire instruction is completed, then we conduct summative evaluation. Is used to know whether learning objectives or the outcomes have been achieved or not. It will provide data, provide information. It sums of how much a student has learned over a period of time. So, it sums up that how much, it means a quantitative description, it may be in grades and percentage. It contributes overall grading and certification of the learners. By conducting summative evaluation, we certify learners that the learner has successfully completed a course, okay, and then after he or she gets a certificate. And further, and this is conducted through summative evaluation. Further, it provides terminal feedback both to the teacher and the students. So, feedback that the learners will get, that is not instantly, just like in formative evaluation, but here it is terminal feedback, and that will further not help the learner for further improvement. And grading and certification is the key term which is used in summative evaluation, because by conducting the summative evaluation, we grade the learner and we certify the learner. So, friends, after discussing the concept, now our focus is upon differentiate between formative and summative evaluation, because these two types of evaluation that really we do in our teaching learning process. Okay. So, first of all, here you see on your screen different parameters are given, then how we can differentiate so far as different parameters are concerned, both formative and summative evaluation. So far as the parameter of time of use is concerned, you will find that formative evaluation is a during instructional process, and summative evaluation that we do at the end of the term or semester or a session. So this is so far as the time of use is concerned, this is the difference. And further, so far as purpose is concerned, formative evaluation is to know the progress and mastery of the learners, and summative evaluation to certify and grade the learners. And second purpose, so far as formative evaluation is concerned, to provide feedback both to the learners and the teachers, and so far as summative evaluation is concerned, it also provide feedbacks, that is to provide feedback to the learners for further study. Okay. And another purpose of formative evaluation, that is to provide data for formative evaluation, but in summative evaluation it includes formative evaluation. So formative evaluation provide data to summative evaluation, and summative evaluation is a broad evaluation that includes formative evaluation. Okay. So when certain scores, certain percentage, certain grade is there, and summative evaluation further do certain more assessment activities, and that includes the formative assessment. And further, so far as parameter of learning objectives are concerned, here in formative evaluation, it is related with the topic or the particular topic, the particular content that you are teaching. Okay. From that content only certain instructional objectives or outcomes will be fixed, will be decided that the learners they are supposed to achieve further. And so far as summative evaluation is concerned, the learning objectives that it deals are related with the objective of the course and the program. So, here the learning objectives are not based upon a particular content, rather that is based upon the entire course or the entire objective, because we have to do the certification, we have to do the grading. And further, another objective of formative evaluation, that is formative evaluation are limited in scope, whereas summative evaluation it is vast in nature because it includes formative evaluation. Let us go forward to know about difference between formative and summative evaluation. So far as the parameter of process is concerned, that what are the different processes we conduct for understanding or for practicing formative and summative evaluation. So, here so far as formative evaluation is concerned, it is done by classroom observation, whereas summative evaluation it is done by conducting term and examination. And formative evaluation is conducted by oral and written teacher made test. So, teacher, what as you are a teacher, what you are doing, you are also preparing your test to know the level of achievement of your learner. So, that is why many a time you can also interact with the learners to know their understanding, to know their mastery, okay, to know their level of achievement. So, that is why both oral test at the same time written teacher made test that you are preparing you can also use in formative evaluation. And in formative evaluation, peer group assessment, peer and group assessment all can also be done. Okay. So, assessment can be done within the peers and assessment can also be done within the group. So, that is come under the formative evaluation. Further, formative evaluation is internal in nature and it supports criterion referenced evaluation. In our next lesson, we will discuss about criterion, the concept of criterion referenced evaluation, but here under formative evaluation we also do the criterion, we also assess, we also evaluate the criteria. Criteria means you have to fix the level first. You can say you have fixed a criteria, all the important events during Mughal period, all the important events during British rule. Okay. So, here whether the learners are able to successfully perform or whether they are able to successfully achieved or get the data and get the information or get the knowledge about all the important events which was conducted during Mughal period or during British rule. So, here the criteria is you can say important events in a particular period. So, you have to compare the learners whether they have achieved that criteria or not. Okay. So, it is come under the formative evaluation, and under summative evaluation we can say that so far as process parameter is concerned, it is conducted by conducting term and examination we do it, then it is external in nature and we can do it through written types of examination or we can say by pen and paper types of test, and by using both teacher made and standardized test we can do. Teacher made test means the teacher prepare for their learners, the test that the teacher prepares for the learners, and standardized test means the test which is already standardized and that can be used upon any group of learners in the same standard at different time at different places. Okay. So, here summative evaluation provides space for using a standardized test, but it is not happens in formative evaluation. Then further under summative evaluation we can say that it supports norm referenced evaluation. I have already said that criterion referenced evaluation is supported by formative evaluation, but norm referenced evaluation is supported by summative evaluation, and norm a standard will be developed, and the learners performance will be compared with that standard, whether they have achieved that standard or not. And further, formative evaluation provides data for summative evaluation. Another parameter, that is tools and techniques, is concerned. Formative evaluation used varieties of tools so far as the diversified nature of the learners are concerned. Okay. The learner's background, language, culture, and other different aspect is concerned. So that's why a single tool is not fruitful for assessing achievement and other aspect of the learner. So that's why many tools and tests, just like a test, a questionnaire, a scale, a schedule, a checklist, portfolio, quiz, debate and discussion, role play, dramatization, demonstration, all such things are used in formative evaluation. But so far as summative evaluation is concerned, mostly or it can only be conducted through written test, pen and paper test, or many a time we also do a type of practical examination, practical test if there is scope for using certain practical in the program and the course. Then further, so far as product is concerned, formative evaluation enable learners to know their learning progress, learning difficulties, and the way to remove the difficulties. And further, in formative evaluation, we can say it enable learners for their continuous and comprehensive development, whether they are developing continuously in a continuum or not. And further, it also helps the learners to provide suitable remediation for further development of the learner. So, it provides certain remedial measures for further development, and it happens continuously. It goes hand to hand with teaching learning process. But so far as product parameter is concerned, in summative evaluation only awards and grades are assigned, and certification of the learners are done, and it makes the learners enable and eligible to pursue further educational courses and programs. Okay, means after completion of a course and program, on the basis of their performance, on the basis of their certification and award and grade, they can take an entry in any other higher program, any other higher courses. So friends, just to recapitulate, in this video lesson, first of all we discussed about different types of evaluation so far as its function is concerned. 4 types of evaluation: placement, formative, diagnostic and summative. Placement evaluation that we conduct, it is a before instructional process, and formative and diagnostic evaluation are conducted when teaching learning process is going on. So that's why it's come under the during instructional process, and summative evaluation that we conduct it after completion of the instructional process. Okay. But these 4 types of evaluation that we highly used in the teaching learning process. Okay. Some form or the others, some are we do to provide entry to give a placement to the learners, and some we do continuously to know the progress of the learners, to diagnose the learning difficulties of the learners, and accordingly to provide remedial measures. And after completion of the instruction, we do a type of pen and paper types of test, a written test, okay, for certifying the learners whether they have successfully achieved the aim, the objectives of the program or the course or not. So for further queries, you can write to me niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can make me a telephone call. My intercom is 2994. You can visit my Facebook account, my YouTube channel, at the same time my Twitter handle. You will find many such video lessons relating to your program and other aspects of education that will help you a lot for your study. Thank you.